Welcome to Live Interactive English. This is Karen.
Hey everybody, I am Shane.
Hi Shane.
All right, we're going to be talking about The Chaser.
That's right,
today.
Part 1 of The Chaser, and it's a cool story.
Okay, well speaking of
Kind of
this,
like a love story.
I have a question for you.
Okay, what's your question?
I have a friend and he's chasing a girl, right? There's this girl that he really likes.
Okay, he's going after this girl.
Yeah, but like she doesn't seem to be very interested, or he's not really sure. So he wants to know, like, what can he do to make this girl like him, or even better, fall in love with him?
Shane, you can't make someone fall in love with you or your friend, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he could do some things like, is there something he can say, or like maybe the way that he looks, he can change his appearance to make his...
You can't change the way you look. You have to, that person has to love your friend the way he is, right? That's how it works. You can't pretend to be somebody.
But there has to be certain qualities that women find attractive. I can tell my friend, like be nice, or I don't know.
Well, every girl is different. But all I can say is that, just be kind, be yourself. And, if you guys have the same hobbies, you like the same things, that would be even better. For example, if you both like, watching the movies, you guys can hang out together, talk about the movies, and create that bond. But you can't really make anybody fall in love with you. There's no way.
You're not very helpful. That doesn't really help me. I mean, him. It doesn't help him.
So is that really your friend, or is that you?
No, man, it's not helpful for me because I need to tell my friend. Of course, it's not me who likes some other girl. I'm married, okay?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, well, let's take a look at our story.
Yeah, let's get started.
Part 1, The Chaser.
Alan Austin walked around the neighborhood nervously searching for a particular address. After he found it, he pushed the door open and entered a tiny room. An old man was sitting in a rocking chair reading a newspaper. Alan handed the man a card he had been given. "Sit down, Mr. Austin," the old man said. The room was plainly furnished, and Alan could see about a dozen bottles and jars arranged on shelves fixed to one of the walls.
So we have a story today, and it's called The Chaser, and we're looking at part 1.
Okay.
The Chaser, when I think of the word chaser, what do you think of when you think of
somebody's chasing somebody? The person who's chasing somebody else could be a chaser.
Okay,
or there's also when you drink strong alcohol.
That's right. When I think of the word chaser, I actually think of, when you drink like a really strong alcohol, right? And then like a really strong drink, you don't really like the taste.
The aftertaste, right?
That's right. So you would drink something right after it to get rid of the taste. It could be like some juice or some like, alcohol that tastes better. So that could also be called the chaser. But what is this story referring to?
Well, I think we just need to read the story and find out what it's about, okay?
All right, let's do it.
Alan Austin walked around the neighborhood, nervously searching for a particular address. Okay, so we have this guy nervously searching for an address.
What is he looking for? We don't know.
Well, we know he's in some neighborhood.
And that is our first vocabulary word. Neighborhood is a noun. Basically, a neighborhood is like the area. For example, if you live in the city, and your neighborhood would be some houses close to you within your little area. It's called your neighborhood.
Yeah, we know the word like neighbored means the person who lives next to you, right?
Or close to you, that's right.
Okay.
And in our example sentence, it says, Charlene lives in a neighborhood with a lot of parks.
Okay.
So in her neighborhood, like around her area, around her house, there are a lot of parks.
Okay, so we know he's in some neighborhood, right? But he's nervously searching for something.
For an address. So he's looking for something. Okay, so let's find out what he's looking for. After he found it, he pushed the door open and entered a tiny room.
Okay, so he found this address he was looking for. He pushes the door open, and it's just a tiny room.
This sounds really, really mysterious.
Yeah, I kind of like the feeling of the story so far.
And it says, an old man was sitting in a rocking chair, reading a newspaper.
Now I'm starting to feel a little bit scared, right? It's like an old man in a rocking chair.
In a tiny room.
Ooh, sounds a little bit creepy.
Okay.
But mysterious. It's definitely mysterious, right?
Exactly, because we don't know what's going to happen. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Alan handed the man a card he had been given. Okay.
So they handed to him, you just gave him this card. Okay.
Sit down, Mr. Austin, the old man said. Okay, so he's here to meet this old man, but we don't know why.
Right, so he gave him a card. Okay, interesting. All right, the room was plainly furnished, and Alan could see about a dozen bottles and jars arranged on shelves fixed to one of the walls. Okay, so it says it was plainly furnished.
What does it mean by plainly furnished?
Okay, so to furnish something means basically to put furniture in something.
Oh, like cupboards, closets, tables, and chairs,
yeah,
right?
To make a place livable.
All right.
All right, so it's plainly furnished would mean that it
doesn't have a lot of furniture.
Yeah, not a lot, or it's not very fancy, just very basic stuff.
Okay.
So the example sentence we have, we barely have enough money to furnish the apartment.
So they probably don't have a lot of furniture inside.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, and the next vocabulary word we have is jar. So they mentioned that they have a lot of bottles and jars on the shelves, right?
So what's the difference between a bottle and a jar?
Well, we know a bottle has a smaller opening at the top. So the jar is also a container. Yeah. Something that you can put something inside, but the opening actually is bigger. So you can probably put peanut butter or strawberry jam inside. Yeah. They're usually made of glass. I mean, it could also be made of like a pottery or something like that. And jar is a noun. So in our example sentence, it says, this jar of strawberry jam is impossible to open.
Well, you could just look to me. I can open any jar.
Really? No. I'm really bad at opening jars. I can never open them.
I'm really bad at opening them too. The last time I tried to open one, I wanted to loosen the lid by hitting it on the counter, and the jar broke in my hand, and my hand was bleeding.
Oh no, so it could be really dangerous.
I'm too weak.
So back to the story though, now it's still very mysterious. Yeah. We know the old man, we don't know what he can give Alan, and we don't know what Alan wants.
We don't know what's in these bottles and jars.
Oh, it's so interesting though.
Such a mystery.
I know, let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这一次要读的短篇故事是《The Chaser》爱情灵药。那么 Chaser 这个名词啊，它可以指说你喝完烈酒之后立刻饮用另一种比较淡的酒，也可以指说你喝完比较淡的酒之后立刻饮用的另外一种烈酒。像是如果你听到 The man ordered whiskey with a beer chaser， 就是说那名男子他点了威士忌和之后接着要喝的啤酒。好，那故事一开始说到这个 Alan Austin 在附近紧张的走来走去，他在找一个特定的地址。那找到之后，他就推开门走进一个小房间，里面有一名老人坐在摇椅上面看报纸。那么 Alan 把一张别人给他的卡片递给老人，老人就请他坐下。那个房间里面的陈设摆设很简单 ，Alan 可以看到固定在一面墙上的架子上面排列了大约10来个瓶瓶罐罐。老师们觉得这段描述听起来很神秘，有一点毛骨悚然哎。我们可以用 creepy 这个字 ，C-R-E-E-P-Y，creepy 是形容令人毛骨悚然的。好，那么课文单字 neighborhood 它是名词，表示社区或是邻近地区。Furnish 它是动词，表示装潢、布置或是为什么来配置家具。我们文中用 plainly furnished 表示陈设简单的意思。 那人们为房子来装潢配置家具，就是要让它适合居住嘛。Shane 老师用到 livable 这个字，在 live 居住后面去 e 加 able， 也有另外一种拼法是不把 e 去掉。那 livable 是形容适宜居住、适合居住的。下一个单字 jar 它表示罐子、广口瓶。那这边2个重点，我们要进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 see 当感官动词是指看见。那么以下介绍3种用法。第一种呢是用 see 加受词加原形动词，这样的用法是强调看到这个过程啊，或是事实。Did you see him take the money？ 你有看到他把钱拿走吗？好，第二个用法是 see 加受词再加现在分词 ling， 这个用法是强调动作正在进行，你看到那个动作正在进行。We saw a man running after a car。我们看到一名男子追着一辆汽车。那么第3个用法是 see 加上受词再加过去分词 pp， 这是强调你看到某个受词它的被动状态。Ron saw a police car parked in front of his neighbor's house. Ron 看到一辆警车停在邻居家门前。那么警车它是被停的，我们用 parked。好，再来看下一个重点是 fix， 它当动词可以表达使固定、安装。Be fixed to something 表示被固定在什么什么上。例如 All the tables and chairs were fixed to the floor and couldn't be moved。所有的桌椅都被固定在地板上，没办法移动。好，那么接着回到课文中。
Is it true that you have a certain mixture that has, quite extraordinary effects? Alan asked. The old man replied that nothing he had could be described as ordinary. He removed a bottle of colorless liquid from one of the shelves and showed it to Alan. He told him that it had no taste and could not be detected, not even in an autopsy. Do you mean it is a poison? Alan cried in shock. Call it a glove cleaner if you like. One might call it a life cleaner. Lives need cleaning sometimes, the old man answered. The old man then told him that 1 teaspoonful, for that is all one would need, costs $5,000 and not a penny less.
Welcome back, everyone.
So we're still talking about the chaser.
The mysterious story that we still don't know too much about.
Well, we do know there's a guy named Alan, and he was definitely looking for this old man, right?
That's right.
And he found him. So this old man is quite mysterious.
Exactly, and he has a lot of bottles and jars on the shelves on the wall.
Which is also mysterious. What's inside these jars and bottles?
It was never mentioned, right? Let's find out more about the story.
Okay. Is it true that you have a certain mixture that has quite extraordinary effects? Alan asked.
Ooh.
So he's looking for some kind of a mixture.
Okay, so a mixture basically just means a combination of something, like you mix some things together. That's called mixture. So it could be liquid or it could be like powder, right?
And I guess if you take this mixture, then it's going to have some effect. It's very extraordinary.
And which means it's very special.
Very special, not ordinary, right? Above ordinary.
Some special effects, okay.
The old man replied that nothing he had could be described as ordinary. Oh, so all these bottles and jars, they're probably filled with a bunch of extraordinary things.
But we don't know what these bottles or these jars, these mixtures can do, right?
Right.
Okay. So he removed a bottle of colorless liquid from one of the shelves and showed it to Alan. Okay. So colorless liquid is just like a liquid that has no color, right?
It's see-through.
It's clear.
Clear, right?
Okay, so he told him that it had no taste and could not be detected, not even in an autopsy.
Okay, so an autopsy means that if you die, they are not going to be able to find this inside of the dead body. They can't detect it. So detect means to be able to
find out
or discover something, right? So if they take this mixture and die, it will not be able to be detected, okay?
Okay.
For our example sentence for detect, the company claims Its new blood test can detect more than 50 types of cancer.
All right. So what does Alan want with this mixture? I don't know. Okay, I guess we have to find out. Do you mean it is a poison? Alan cried in shock.
But that's right, because it says you won't detect it in an autopsy. An autopsy means that it will kill somebody. So it sure sounds like it is going to be a poison.
Well, I don't know. Call it a glove cleaner if you like. One might call it a life cleaner. Lives need cleaning sometimes, the old man answered. Okay, that sounds a little bit scary to me.
Yeah, so this old man is just very mysterious. Everything about him, and even his answer, a glove cleaner?
And life cleaner?
Life cleaner? What is he talking about?
Like he has all these like magical mixtures that would do certain things that are really extraordinary.
Okay. The old man then told him that 1 teaspoonful, for that is all one would need, cost $5,000 and not a penny less.
So this story is probably from a long time ago. So when you say $5,000, it's probably worth a lot of money.
Because even now, 5,000 like US dollars is a lot of money. So
exactly.
Back then, it could be like $100,000 or something.
And he said it's just 1 teaspoonful. It's not even like a jar. It's not even a bottle. So it's like 1 teaspoonful. Oh my goodness, that's really, really pricey,
and
right?
He says, not a penny less. That means he's very strict about this price. He's not going to negotiate the price with you.
That's right. And penny is our next vocabulary word. Penny is a noun. It's a coin, right, that we use in Canada or in the States.
Yeah, and probably other places as well.
When you have 100 pennies, then you have $1.
Right. So it's like 1/100th of a dollar.
Exactly. So in our example sentence, it says, Thomas found 3 pennies under his couch.
That's not a lot of money.
That's not a lot of money at all. I still don't really know a lot about the story yet. But it's getting more interesting, definitely.
Part 1 has definitely drawn me into the story, and I really want to know what's going to happen. Like, what's this mixture? What does Alan want to do? What's going to happen?
Is this old man a bad guy? I have no idea. Well, I guess we'll have to find out in part 2.
Okay, see you then.
See you then.
故事里的男子 Alan， 他接着问老人，是不是真的有某一种混合物具有非常特别的功效？老人回答说，他所有的东西没有一样是平凡的。接着就从架子上取下一瓶无色液体，拿给 Alan 看。老人说，这个没有颜色的液体啊，它没有味道，而且没办法被检测出来，就算验尸的时候也验不出来。哇，听起来根本就是毒药嘛。那我们来看单字 detect。detect 它是动词，表示检测、测出，它也有发现、察觉的意思。那补充单字 extraordinary 它是形容非凡的、出众的或是非常奇特的。那么 autopsy 则是指验尸，是当名词。好，那么文中它还用到 colorless， 在 color 后面加上 less 就可以形容是无色的、没有颜色的。Shane 老师则是用到 see through， 这2个字之间有连字号 ，see through 是形容透明的，它也可以形容衣服是薄的、透明的。好，那么老人接着解释就说啊，那个无色液体，有人可能会把它称为人生清洁剂，生活有时候是需要清理的。这个东西呢，一个人只需要1茶匙就可以处理掉，这个要价是$5000， 1分钱都不能少。哇，那么1茶匙$5000，这很贵耶。Karen 老师他刚刚是用到 pricey，pricey 是形容昂贵的。那我们最后来看单字 penny 它表示1分钱1分钱那种硬币，而文中用到 teaspoonful， 它表示1茶匙或是1茶匙的量。那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Alan Austin walked around the neighborhood, nervously searching for a particular address. After he found it, he pushed the door open and entered a tiny room. An old man was sitting in a rocking chair reading a newspaper. Alan handed the man a card he had been given. "Sit down, Mr. Austin," the old man said. The room was plainly furnished, and Alan could see about a dozen bottles and jars arranged on shelves fixed to one of the walls. "Is it true that you have a certain mixture that has, quite extraordinary effects?" Alan asked. The old man replied that nothing he had could be described as ordinary. He removed a bottle of colorless liquid from one of the shelves and showed it to Alan. He told him that it had no taste and could not be detected, not even in an autopsy. "Do you mean it is a poison?" Alan cried in shock. "Call it a glove cleaner if you like. One might call it a life cleaner. Lives need cleaning sometimes," the old man answered. The old man then told him that 1 teaspoonful, for that is all one would need, costs $5,000 and not a penny less.
Hello, I'm Matt.
Hey, I'm Ian.
Today we're playing Guess the Bear. We each have cards with sentences on them where the vocabulary words are replaced with the word bear. We'll each have 1 minute to see if we can guess all 3 vocabulary words or phrases.
Ooh.
Okay, do you want to go first?
Okay.
I'll read first.
Okay,
all right?
you read
1
first.
minute on the clock.
All right, ready?
All right, let's go. Okay, the first one is a noun. He eats peanut butter right out of the bear. I picked up a bear of strawberry jam.
Jar.
That's right. Ooh. Next one is a verb. The radar bared a UFO. I bared sarcasm in her voice.
Heard.
Quite.
Shown. Say
The
it again.
radar bared a UFO. I bared sarcasm in her voice.
Noticed.
Oh, it's similar.
Noticed, saw, seen. Go back to.
Come back. Okay,
Yeah,
skip
come back
it.
to-
Okay,
yeah.
next one is a noun. We moved to a newer bear last year. Growing up, I lived in a middle class bear.
Neighborhood.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, back to the other one. It's a verb.
It's a verb.
Their
it's a verb.
radar bared a UFO. I bared sarcasm in her voice.
I heard sarcasm. I
I think
noticed.
more radar.
Radar. I scanned.
Oh, that's 1 minute. So that one was detect. So the radar detected a UFO, and I detected sarcasm in her
Oh, okay.
tricky one.
All right, it's your turn, Matt. Ready
All right.
and go. First is an adjective. Their story of survival is bare. She has an bare musical talent.
voice. Amusing, interesting.
Their story of survival is bare. She has an bare musical talent.
Exciting. I don't know. Skip next one.
Okay, it's a noun. If you find a bear, pick it up for good luck. I bought the car for bears on the dollar.
Penny.
Yes, there you go. Okay, last one is a verb. I bared my new apartment very simply. My grandmother's home is bared with antiques.
Decorated.
Yes, similarly. I bared my new apartment
not
very
decorated.
simply.
Furnished.
Yes, okay, back to the first one. Their story of survival is bare. She has an bare musical talent. Extraordinary. Their story of survival is extraordinary. She has an extraordinary musical talent.
Okay, the extraordinary talent. That I should
Yeah, I know.
should have picked up on that.
That's a little bit tough, though. The story of survival is bare. It could have been anything. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know, I didn't get mine either, so.
See you next time.